Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined with Eddie Hearn. Yummy cookie, huh?
Oh, it's really nice. Do you know the thing is, like when we do our UK press conferences, we don't have food. We have tea and coffee.
Yeah, I know.
In America, you lot have so much food. Like I've had 4 sandwiches, 2 cookies, a muffin, and a cup of coffee.
Wow.
So.
Some good stuff. Some Cheetos.
I did have a run this morning. But I did go to Smith & Wollensky's last night, and I had jumbo shrimp cocktail to start. You know, in like the spicy sauce that you dip those like. Then I had a big New York strip, Cajun. Some sides of macaroni cheese. I think there was a bit of lobster in there as well. A couple of onion rings. And then a big coconut cream cake. And then I went back to my hotel and laid in bed, and I was like, you know, felt like the geezer out of Nutty Professor. Sherman Clump, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
That sounds yum. Do you know what I had?
What?
7-Eleven sandwich.
Oh, really?
Do you want to know why? Because
Why?
everything was closed by the time I arrived. It sucked.
Oh well.
Well, it is what it is. Well, we're here in Boston,
Yeah.
beautiful Boston. I've never been here before.
Great place, isn't it?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Really nice.
Yeah, so we got a big fight ahead of us. Let's talk a bit about that. I mean, obviously there was some controversy that loomed around this fight. We weren't quite sure what was going to happen, really. I know Demetrius is just looking forward to what could potentially set him up for a Canelo fight.
Massive.
He's a favorite, heavy favorite, so a lot of people are expecting for him to win. But tell me a bit about Walter.
Well, I think firstly, you know, people talk about the Billy Joe Saunders fight. It was a fight that we wanted to happen. When we signed up for VADA testing, everyone knew the rules, and when he failed his drugs test, I hope that maybe it might get resolved. But when you look at it, and you know, you remember that this is a sport where the ultimate objective is to do damage to your opponent and try and knock him out. It's not sprinting, it's not swimming. So you have to take those kind of things very seriously, as the Massachusetts Commission did. When he failed the drugs test, which was probably about 4 weeks ago now, I looked at the WBO rankings. Demetrius Andrade's number 1, and Walter Cowton-Dockwell was number 2. I phoned up his promoter, who's a guy called Nestor Tobias, who had Julius Ndongo, who went to Russia and knocked out the champion, unified against Ricky Burns, and then lost to Terence Crawford in an undisputed fight. So we spoke. He said, let me speak to Walter. He's always in the gym. And he just come straight back and he went, we're ready. At that point, we didn't know. So I said, you're going to have to stand by and wait. And he's been waiting for a long time. You know, he's been training. This is not ideal for anyone.
Yeah.
You know, firstly, you've got Demetrius, who's been training for a slick southpaw, right, in Billy Joe Saunders. Now he goes in with an orthodox puncher in Cowton-Dockwell. You've got Cowton-Dockwell who, you know, at least he's known for 4 weeks that he was probably fighting Demetrius. But I don't think everybody's head is in an ideal spot right now, you know. And there's a lot of pressure on Demetrius. Plus the news yesterday of Canelo. So he's sort of thinking, wow, like this is a massive opportunity for him, and he could become a 2-weight, 3-time world champion. And it's going to be tough because, you know, I know these guys, I know the camp, and Walter's like one of those sort of spiritual, religious people who has a great sort of calming sense. You know when you say to someone, are you going to win tomorrow night? And he goes, it's in the hands of God. You know what I mean? I like that. It's nice, isn't it? Rather than, yes, it says, what will be, will be. I will follow my path. God has my plan. But yes, I'm going to knock him the fuck out. He didn't say that. I added that back at the end. But that would have been.
Yeah, you added that little bit in.
So I think it's a good fight. It's a great card. 3 World Championship fights as well. Tevin Farmer against James Tennyson. I think it's going to be a really good fight.
I wanted to talk to you a bit about Tevin Farmer because, as you know, there's a lot of drama going on between him and Gervonta Davis. It's a lot of Twitter, like a Twitter war we have, Twitter beef. I know that last time you and I spoke, you mentioned that Mayweather Promotions wasn't exactly.
Yeah, I mean, look, all I see, and I don't speak to Gervonta, I know Gervonta, but all I see is social media.
Yeah.
And all he does all day is moan about his promoter and the fact that he can't get a fight. So I thought, look, we got a lot of money. DAZN would love Gervonta Davis. So I went to Mayweather Promotions, this was probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and said, here's a 3-fight offer. Co-promotion. I know you're not going to let him go, but let's work together on it. You clearly can't get him out. He's clearly unhappy. So let's try and solve that. They came back about 1.2 seconds later and went, thank you for your offer, we're not interested. I went, okay. And then a month later or 2 months later, he's moaning. So I went back and said, look, and I didn't double the offer, but it was a huge offer. And he came back and he said, thanks for the offer, we're not interested. So I can't really do any more.
Yeah.
What I can do is get my guy, Tevin Farmer, in a position to try and make that fight. It's a big unification fight. Both guys would get paid a lot of money for that fight. Both guys want that fight. But, I think he's just sad with Gervonta Davis because, what is he, 23, 24?
Young.
Like, he should be boxing 4 or 5 times a year. He's so good, and he's so exciting that I just, like, if he was with me, I would box him in London, I would box him all over America, I would try and box him out, even in other places. He's an extraordinary talent. And, I just feel like I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's something else to it, but we don't know. But how can you get this kid out once a year? Like, he's brilliant. Brilliant.
Do you know what I worry is going to happen to Gervonta is exactly what happened with Andre Ward. He lost a lot of really good years because of maybe some...
But he's already done that. You can't get them back.
Yeah.
He's talking about fighting now in January, is it? Or February, or just, I don't know. But, unfortunately, he is losing years, not just in his boxing sense, but in his profile and his commercial sense as well. And what happens with these fighters is, once they lose motivation, they go out, they have a drink, they eat a lot, they don't train. Look at the size of him. I mean, that might be another problem, where Mayweather promotion stand around and go, mate, you can't you need 5 months. But the reason he needs 5 months is because he's got no motivation to train. And every fighter is the same. You say to them, get in the gym and your date is coming. They go, all right then. They sort of go in the gym and they sort of go, I ain't really got a date. So, it's very hard to be motivated if you haven't got your date. So what we always try and do, and you see it with Beterbiev, for example, just boxed last week, 2 weeks ago, he's boxing December 15. And the same with Tevin Farmer. If he wins on Saturday night, he will get his date on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's great for them. And Danny Jacobs has seen that in his lifestyle, where you can fight, you can have a month off, you can go on holiday, and then you get back in camp.
It's a peace of mind for them.
It's like anything. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, how can you expect to be able to plan your life and have that structure in your life? Fighters need structure. And that's why they found the sport in the first place, because they didn't have that regimental aspect in their lifestyle. So they need to be told, congratulations, you've got 3 weeks off, and then you start camp again, and you're boxing in. Okay, and that's the art of developing not just a good fighter or someone with a good profile, but also a happy fighter who actually has balance in his life and an understanding of where he is.
Ed, Kell Brook. Ed.
No one calls me Ed.
Really?
No.
Well, I do. Kell Brook had mentioned during an interview with one of my guys that he says that your loyalty lies with him, not with Amir Khan, because he's been with you since day one. What do you make of that? That obviously puts you... You're kind of in an awkward position because there are some people who feel like, no, wait a minute, I've been riding with you since day one, and now they're getting the opportunities that I feel I deserve. So how do you handle that?
He's not getting any opportunities, Amir, that Kell's not getting at the moment. I understand his mindset on that. Ultimately, the decision lies with Amir to make the fight. I've got a good relationship with Kell Brook. We've been through a huge amount of ups and downs in his career, and I want to see him get the Amir Khan fight.
Yeah.
But I can't make Amir Khan take this fight. I do, however, think that he's ready to take this fight, Amir Khan, and I think there could be a deal to be done.
When we're talking about the 10-pound rehydration clause here,
really I don't know where that came from. I think Khan talked about the IBF and said, look, he was making £147. He used to do a 10-pound weight. I think Amir will ask for everything. But ultimately, it's up to Kell. And when he talks about...
He says he's not doing it.
No, but that's up to him.
Yeah.
And, you talk about loyalty from me, I present what I can deliver. I can't... If Amir Khan turns around and says, unless there's a 10-pound weight limit on this fight, I am not taking this fight. I can't go to Amir, hold on, mate, I've got to be loyal to Kell and tell you... It's up to Kell. Then if Kell says no, then we go back and we try and get it slung out. But my personal feeling is that if Kell Brook is made to make 147, he shouldn't have to reweigh in the morning. That's what I believe. But there has been a lot of signs over the last couple of weeks that this fight is starting to get a little bit of traction. Yeah. It looks like Pacquiao's messing around, or he might go for Broner or whatever. So, there are definitely talks now, probably for the first time over the last week or so, where the Khan team want to move towards trying to make this fight, I think.
I think my biggest concern when I heard that was, okay, oh God, if Kel doesn't accept that, he's saying you can't weigh in, then it's not going to happen.
Maybe. But that's not down to me. You know, I can say that's unfair or I don't think you should do that, but ultimately that decision, you know, Kel has the right to say no, Kel has the right to say yes, Kel has the right to take this deal, Kel has the right to take another deal. So, you know, I mean, he has done it before. You know, he used to do it. He's probably done it 10 times or close to in his career. So it's not ideal.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else